Hey guys, I hope everyone's having an awesome day so far. For today's video, I'm watching a film that I have honestly never paid any attention to. I don't really know anything about or have given a second thought. It's completely different than the usual films that I usually watch. So today I will be watching Stranger Than Fiction starring Will Farrell. So from what I could tell, it's a 2006 film where Will Farrell, spoilers, plays someone in the IRS. I know Maggie Gyllenhaal is in it, and the only reason I know any of this stuff is because I had to make sure this was the movie, because every single time I tried to find this movie online, it got confused with some surfing movie, and I was like, is Will Farrell gonna be a surfer? I was like, this doesn't seem right. So it was really hard to find online to watch, so I had to borrow this from a friend, so good luck guys. I don't know why it's so hard to find. Who is trying to erase this movie off the face of the planet? I don't know, but there's something dark there. There has to be some reason for it. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're not, thank you so much for just watching along with me and, you know, watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. And for being so consistent and uplifting and always just nice to me. So I don't know what to say other than thank you. If by the end of the video you do like it and want to watch my full-length commentary as well as my full-length reviews for everything that I watch, the link to my Patreon will be down below in the description. There you'll have access to my full unedited videos, complete, all there, not chopped up, all the jokes, all the comments, all the reviews. So if you're interested, be sure to check that out. I would really appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get into Stranger Than Fiction. Okay, are you guys prepared? 3, 2, 1, go. What is this, children? Why is this so menacing? Who would think of this as like an opening? Is this not going to be a comedy? This is kind of serious.
This is a story about a man named Harold Crick and his wristwatch. Harold Crick was a man of infinite numbers.
How did they get this shot?
Harold would brush each of his teeth 76 times, 38 times up and down.
That's not good. You need to do circular motion.
Harold would tie his tie in a single windsor knot, saving up to 43 seconds. Harold would run at a rate of nearly 57 steps per block. His wristwatch would delight in the feeling of the crisp wind.
I'm sorry, wait, let me just get water.
Harold would review 7.134 tax files for the Internal Revenue Service.
89 times 1,417. 126,113.
He's so young. Look at little baby Will Farrell.
45.7 minute lunch break and a 4.3 minute coffee break.
Oh, great.
So he's extremely punctual as well as numerically detailed. What is that word? I know.
Alone. He would eat alone. Precisely 11:13, Harold would go to bed alone.
That's sad.
Wristwatch to rest.
So he has no excitement in his life.
Before Wednesday. On Wednesday, wristwatch changed everything.
What happened Wednesday? Yeah, so what happens when the watch breaks?
And he began it the same way he...
Or did he?
And he began it the same way.
Hello?
Does he hear the voice?
Hello, someone there?
He has a very mundane, calculated life.
Harold just counted brush strokes.
All right, who just said Harold just counted brush strokes?
So he does hear the voice.
Simple, modest.
Why does the voice stop when he notices?
Harold.
I want to see this.
His stiff leather shoes making a terrible squeaking sound.
Don't stand in the street. He's gonna miss the bus. Okay.
This was an extraordinary day, remembered for the rest of Harold's life.
Not gonna lie, that bus driver sucks. That's like such a jerk of a bus driver.
Did you hear it? Harold just thought it was a Wednesday.
No, you're crazy. Don't talk to her.
It is Wednesday.
No, did you hear it?
Who's Harold?
I'm Harold. Never mind.
Harold couldn't concentrate, his mind elsewhere.
Sorry.
He's like a human now.
67 times 453.
You know what? I can't think while you're
He
talking.
drew a blank.
What?
30,351. Despite
thanks.
the answer being 31,300.
Wait, 31,305.
He's in a funk.
I just totally caught some insurance adjuster claiming his jet ski as a work vehicle.
I love him. Hey, Buster. I've been seeing him in more movies lately.
Dave, I'm being followed.
Buster.
I'm being followed by a woman's voice. What is she saying?
Just narrating his life. Is he gonna fall in love with the voice?
Harold, you're staring in boxes. What is she narrating? I had to stop filing. Watch.
The sound the paper made against the fold.
Did you hear that? You mean you're filing? No, the voice.
No, it's in your head, dude.
No, forget
He's
it.
about to be like, get help.
Have a good day.
All right,
It just makes you walking weird.
I'm a securities trader. Maybe you should take the baker. Okay.
Today's not his day, but how's his life gonna change because he's noticing someone narrating?
You miscreant.
I understand.
Get that tax man!
How is that an insult? It's his job, tax man. It's like just labeling him as what he does.
Is there somewhere else we could talk about that?
No.
Okay, file that you only paid part of your taxes for last year.
Yeah?
So you did it on purpose?
Yeah.
So you must have been expecting an audit.
Was expecting a fine, sharp reprimand.
This isn't boarding school, Miss Pascal. You stole from the government.
I just didn't pay you entirely.
You can't just not pay your tax.
I need to just keep my mouth shut.
I now have to go over your past 3 years' return to make sure that's all you haven't paid.
I'm a big supporter of fixing potholes and erecting swing sets.
Except they're not doing any of that. Have you lived in New York?
Such a big fan of the percentage that the government uses for national defense.
Yeah, a lot of people have issues with that.
I didn't pay those taxes. Actually, I sent a letter with my return.
Dear imperialist swine,
Dear imperialist swine.
are you an anarchist?
Am I a member?
An anarchist group, yes.
Anarchists have a group.
I believe so, sure.
Can I be part of
They
it?
assemble.
Like, do they? I've never thought of this. She would join.
Harold wasn't prone to fantasies.
He likes her.
The soft blade of her finger. Imagine her naked.
Mr. Crick, you're staring at my tits.
I was? I don't think I was. I can assure you, it was only as a representative of the United States government.
Really?
Well, I'll be back on Tuesday.
Harold suddenly found himself
Shut up!
cursing the heavens in futility.
But for real, who is that voice and how is it happening? She's not going to jump, is she? What the f-
Excuse me.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Queen Latifah, hi.
May I ask what you're doing?
Research.
I'm Penny Escher. I'm the assistant your publisher's hired.
The spy.
Yep.
Are these pages?
They're letters.
Are you writing back?
I don't respond to letters. What do you think about leaping off a building?
I don't think about leaping off a building.
There's a photograph in the book called The Leaper. It's old, but it's beautiful. Blood around her head, like a halo, and her legs buckled underneath. Her face is so serene.
Is it bad that I really dig her? I think her style, her way of speech, how she holds herself is really cool. Her thought process is interesting. I like it.
I cannot simply throw Harold Crick off a building.
She was gonna drink that.
I've helped more than 20 authors complete more than 35 books. Now, I will be available to you. I do not like loud music. I do not abide narcotics. And I will gladly help you kill Harold Crick.
So, he's a story.
I had a very interesting little convo with someone in your section.
Why would you want to kill him? Why don't you have him live? The narration is just a book of his life.
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm okay.
Strange.
A tree doesn't think it's a tree. It is a tree.
Why was Harold talking to this man? This man was an idiot. What Harold didn't know, why Miss Pascal had made his fingertips quiver.
Harold?
Sorry.
What's going on, Harold?
Don't worry about it, crazy hair man.
Everything's fine.
You haven't taken vacation in a few years now. Let's say you take a little break.
I'll think about it.
I'm not really supposed to do this, but
Do it anyway. Give him a hug. Aww. He thinks he's really wound up and just needs a break. What the heck? So you're telling me the watch is a wingman?
Harold had never once paid attention to his watch other than to find out the time. It drove his watch crazy. His watch suddenly stopped.
He's not going to be punctual, calculated, or anything anymore. He's on his own.
Harold's watch thrust him into the immitigable path of fate. Little did he know that this simple, seemingly innocuous act would result in his imminent death.
What?
He's going to die? I know she already said that, but I feel like the ending could always change.
Why my death? Hello? How imminent? Okay, where are you?
It's such a basic and just boring, mundane apartment, too.
Harold would brush 32 teeth 72 times. Why won't you say anything? That would result in his imminent death? Come on, you stupid voice.
His apartment looks like a hotel.
Harold and Sid took the hell out of it, no apparent reason, kicking it repeatedly.
He's freaking out. He doesn't have the order to his life that he's been used to for the last 12 years. He's lost. He's freaked.
Say something!
This kind of goes deeper the more you unpack it. I like the concept so far.
Harold is right.
I'm afraid what you're describing is schizophrenia.
No, it's just a voice in my head.
It's an auditory hallucination.
Mr. Crick, you have a voice speaking to you.
Is that not the lady from The Incredibles?
I'm somehow involved in some sort of story. Like I'm a character in my own life. Like there are other parts of the story not being told to me.
Before the story concludes with your death.
Yes.
He's figured it out a lot.
That's schizophrenia.
It's just not schizophrenia. What if what I said was true? What would you suggest that I do?
I would suggest you take prescribed medication.
Other than that?
He looks defeated.
I suppose I would send you to see someone who knows about literature.
It's a good idea.
How long is it given you to live?
I don't know.
The narrator, exactly what does he sound like?
It's a woman.
So, this woman, the voice, told you you're gonna die? She said it, and you believed it.
Well, she's been right about a few other things.
Such as?
How I felt about work.
You just like your work.
Yes.
Really?
I told you you're gonna die, you believe me?
No.
Why?
I don't know you.
I can't help you.
I just thought you could possibly...
Perhaps you should keep a journal. That's all I can suggest.
Dang, just pushing him out like that? Kind of rude.
I just remember little did he know that this simple act would lead to his imminent death.
What?
That
Did you say little did he know?
Yes.
The narrator did.
I used to teach a class based on little did he know. I mean, I once gave an entire seminar on little did he know. Little did he know means there's something he doesn't know. That means there's something you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it means. Little did he know.
Come back tomorrow at 9:45.
10 seconds ago, you said you wouldn't help me.
It's been a very revealing 10 seconds, Harold.
I'm really enjoying the writing so far. I didn't know this was going to be a serious role for Will Farrell. I thought it was going to be comedy.
Anna Pascal would appear.
Uh-oh.
Miss Pascal,
Hi.
would you like a seat?
No,
There's 11 open ones.
I don't care.
People were standing and there were 2 free seats right there? Okay. Hard to believe.
How are you?
I'm lousy. I'm being audited.
Of course.
By a real creep, too.
You don't gotta be mean. It's just his job. He doesn't like it.
IRS agents, we're given rigorous aptitude tests before we can work. Fortunately for you, we aren't tested on tact or good manners. I apologize.
Okay, apology accepted.
So you're a frequenter of the Metropolitan Transit Authority, too?
I'm just late.
Big flag burning to get to?
It's my weekly evil conspiracy and needlepoint group. You want to come?
Yes. Say
I
yes.
left my thimbles and socialist reading material at home.
Harold nervously made small talk.
He left his evil thimbles at a socialist thing, and you're laughing.
He was elated and surprised by his somewhat flirtatious encounter. So elated, he exited the bus a good 27 blocks too early.
Yep. His life is different. It's exciting. I think he's going to begin to live, and that's what this whole story is about, is him changing the mundane and being more himself and living his life.
Command, Mr. Crick, of 23 questions, which I think might help uncover more truths about this narrator. Has anyone recently left any gifts outside your home? A large wooden horse.
I'm sorry?
Definitely a large wooden horse.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you consider the likelihood you might be assassinated?
I have no idea.
I
2?
rephrase.
3?
Are you the king of anything? King of the lanes at the local bowling alley? King of the trolls?
King of Drury Lanes.
It's ridiculous.
Let's start at ridiculous. Move back.
He has a point. It's fiction. I just understood the title. Stranger Than Fiction. Oh, okay, that's cool.
Aren't you relieved to know you're not a golem?
Yes, I am relieved to know that I'm not a goat.
Do you have magical powers?
Please say yes. What is the significance of this child riding the bike? It seems like he's like bad luck. That child's always with the rider. This kid is a jerk. All he does is bad things.
We're imagining car wrecks. You can't imagine car wrecks inside? No.
Kid is part of the narrative, the story.
Have you written anything new today? No. Sitting in the rain won't write books. Well, that illustrates exactly how much you know about writing books. What's this? It's literature on the nicotine patch. I don't need a nicotine patch, Penny. I smoke cigarettes. May help save your life. I'm not in the business of saving lives. In fact, just the opposite.
What's your favorite word?
Integer.
Ew. And now it's raining here.
Win a whistling contest?
No.
You must have some ambition.
Why did he take off his socks?
I've always wanted my life to be more musical.
Like West Side Story?
Well, I've always wanted to learn to play the guitar.
Okay. The last thing to determine conclusively is whether you're in a comedy or a tragedy.
Interesting.
Most comic heroes fall in love with people who hate the hero.
So he's in a comedy.
Anyone hating you, Harold?
I'm an IRS agent. Everyone hates me.
Yep, that is very true.
Have you met anyone recently who might loathe the very core?
Yes, actually.
Started auditing a woman who told me to get bent.
Well, that sounds like a comedy.
Mr. Crick, you're here early. Still have a lot of people to extort.
No, just you. Actually, it should only take the day to make sure 22% is all you owe.
I won't be paying, no matter the percentage.
Tragedy.
You know, you can call me Harold.
But I don't want to. What is that? What are you marking?
Oh, this is nothing. Why don't we start with your backup documents, the receipts for the past 3 years?
Sure.
What's this?
My files.
What?
You keep your files like this?
Put them in this box just to screw with you.
She's hilarious. So it seems to me as Will Farrell can either make his life a tragedy, his story can either be a tragedy or a comedy based on how he reacts to certain events.
Can I just ask you a question? I'm wondering if this 9 is a 7. I'm just gonna guess it's a 7.
Not doing too hot with the tragedies.
You need help with that?
Hello, Mr. Texman.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, how the numbers going?
Pretty good.
Should I text the bathroom?
No, I'm not gonna text
Good.
back.
Good. I use the bathroom then. Go for it.
Am I gonna tax the bathroom? Definitely more tragedy than comedy, I'd say.
Well, good night.
You want a cookie?
I poisoned it special for you.
No, I don't like cookies.
You don't like cookies?
Right, big red flag immediately. And somebody doesn't like dessert, red flag.
Didn't your mama ever make you milk and cookies?
My mother didn't bake.
Sit down.
No,
Sit down now.
That's so cute.
I really can't.
Mr. Crick, it was a really awful day. I made sure of it. So pick up the cookie and eat it.
That's like a very tiny cookie. Girl, you can't make bigger cookies. It's like, this is big. I hope it changes his life. He starts to enjoy life, sees the value in it from this one simple cookie.
That's a really, really good cookie. When did you decide to become a baker?
In college.
Oh, like a cooking college?
I went to Harvard Law, actually. The only reason they let me come was because of my essay. We would have to participate in study sessions, so I baked. So no one would go hungry while we worked. Eat.
That sounds so nice.
More and more people started coming to the study group, and I was always looking for better and better recipes.
She found her true calling.
And at the end of the semester, I had 8 mead journals filled with recipes, so I dropped out. If I was going to make the world a better place, I would do it with cookies.
Make people happier.
You like them?
I do.
I'm glad.
I really like the softness of the scene.
Thank you for forcing me to eat them.
You're welcome.
I should go.
Why don't you take them home?
Oh, no.
Oh, come on.
No, really. No, really,
want you
please. Yeah,
She said, I want you to.
You can't?
No. I mean, see, it constitutes a gift.
Oh.
Actually, I shouldn't have even had those other ones.
Well, I'm not going to tell anyone.
But if you did.
You think I'm
No,
going to call
look,
the...
I'll purchase them. What? Why don't I just...
Go home.
Yikes.
Okay. Did you bake those cookies for me?
Oh.
You're just trying to be nice, and I totally blew it. I think I'm in a tragedy.
I don't know if I've ever seen Will Farrell in a non-comedic role, and he's doing it so well.
Totally failed at the comedy tragedy thing.
I suggest we try something else. Try nothing.
What about Miss Pascal?
Want to say aloud? Try something else.
That's something being nothing?
Exactly.
Did they really have to show us all of this?
Don't do anything tomorrow.
What about work?
Call him tonight, tell me you're not coming. Let's see if the plot finds you.
Smart.
I've never known any on which discrepancy, similar bodies of water.
What is he doing? Bro, get up and go to the bathroom. Does he have a designated pee cup? Is that what's happening right now? You made the decision to watch TV. It's okay to change the channel.
Eyes will be the first to be plucked out.
Why would they tell us any of this information? This is awful.
And sewn together to form pillows. But you never know who's gonna eat when you're dining in Mother Nature's restaurant.
Why did all the narrators in the early 2000s sound like this on Animal Planet?
Cobra who's putting a squeeze on the mongoose. But don't catch it.
What the f- The plot is coming for him.
Hey! What are you doing?
Dr. Craig! We're demolishing this place.
I live here! Apartment 2B, 1893.
Oh.
They're at the wrong building.
Whoops.
Bruh.
This narrator might very well kill you, so I humbly suggest that you just forget all this and go live your life. You could use it to have an adventure. You could just eat nothing but pancakes if you want.
Who in their right mind, in a choice between pancakes and living, chooses pancakes?
A lot of people nowadays, honestly.
It's my life.
So just go make it the one you've always wanted.
And he exits the story now, I suppose.
All right, so here's your room. It'll be nice having you around.
What an apartment.
If you knew you were gonna die, possibly soon, what would you do?
Do I have a superpower?
You're good at math and you're invisible.
That's easy. I'd go to space camp. I've always wanted to go since I was 9.
Aren't you too old to go to space camp?
You're never too old to go to space camp, dude.
I like their interactions. His apartment's crazy funky. I did not expect that from his character, from someone working at the IRS. I can't explain it, but this has the same vibe as Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's quirky, it's strange, maybe not as dark.
It wasn't just about finding a guitar. It was about finding a guitar that said something about Harold. This guitar said, when I get back to Georgia, that woman gonna feel my pain.
What?
I'm compensating for something. Guess what? And then Harold saw it. Seafoam green fender staring back at him.
Love the seafoam green. Both my dad and my brother are musicians, so I know I've grown up around guitars.
Shot in a gang fight. Harold's not in a gang. This isn't working.
I don't even know why we're here.
You know, you're right. The problem is these people aren't dead.
Don't go to the morgue.
Where are the dying people?
I'm sorry, are you suffering from anything?
Just writer's block.
With every awkward strum, Harold Crick became stronger in who he was and why he was alive. Harold no longer ate alone. He no longer counted brush strokes. No longer worried about the time.
Also, the city they live in is so sad.
Harold did that which had terrified him. Harold Crick lived his life.
Look at the architecture and the design. They're doing something with it. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's interesting.
I'm glad I caught you.
Oh yeah, why?
Because I wanted to...
Sell you Girl Scout cookies.
You can't accept gifts, but you can give them. I'll purchase them. What are they?
I brought you flowers.
Well, instead of literal flowers, it's flour because she's a baker. That's extremely thoughtful and hilarious.
You carried them all the way here?
Miss Pascal, I've been odd, and I want you.
What?
So forward.
I'm doing this because I want you.
You want me? Isn't there some established rule about...
I don't care.
Why?
Because I want you.
Do you mind carrying those a little bit further?
So much for tragedy, huh?
Do you want to come up?
I guess.
I'd like you to come up.
I'd be honored.
No, I'm just going to put them in this thing. Go sit down on the couch.
Oh no, a guitar. Oh no.
Play the guitar?
Terribly. Do you play?
I only know one song.
Play it.
No. Maybe some other time.
I just was thinking, like, I wonder how awkward it must be to, like, for her to make out with Will Farrell.
I want you to.
As Anna let out a soft sigh, Harold knew she was falling in love with him.
It's a comedy.
What?
Oh, never mind, he's back in the story. Hi.
Anna Pascal, she's falling in love with me.
Yes. Well, that's wonderful. Oh, goody. This woman, Karen Eiffel, one of my favorite authors. Beautiful tragedies.
Beautiful tragedies?
Taxes, death and taxes.
That's the voice. She's the narrator. That's her.
Harold, this interview's a decade old.
A decade old?
Professor Hilbert, I know that voice.
Crap. She kills people. She hasn't published anything in 10 years. Even if you find her, she's not getting Harold.
I'm gonna do something.
Harold.
Thank you for your help.
I figured out how to kill Harold Crick. I'll finish it today.
I'll let the publishers know.
And she's writing it on a typewriter. She's very unconventional.
I need to speak to Karen Eiffel.
Sir, she's not here.
There must be a way that I could contact her.
How do you know her?
I'm one of her characters, and she's going to kill me in the book.
She definitely called the police by now. Panic button, 100%. The blue pants and red top definitely make him stick out as the main character opposed to everybody else.
Wherever you went, I do not want. Oh, dude, the phones are off.
Everything that got in the way.
Can I have some change?
as Harold neared the phone, he saw it was occupied. Harold remembered a bank of phones in the 6th Street subway tunnel.
Harold dialed the third phone.
Answer it. Oh my god, I did. Okay.
Hello? My name is Harold Crick. I believe you're writing a story about me.
Please don't kill me.
I work for the IRS. My name, Miss Eiffel, is Harold Crick.
Please don't kill him.
Miss Eiffel, hello?
Let him in.
Oh my goodness.
Hello.
Hello?
I'm Penny. I'm Kane's assistant.
Oh, I'm Harold, her main character.
She's been trying to kill you all this time. You know about this?
Oh my god.
Miss Eiffel?
Your hair, your eyes.
It's like her creation come to life. She's in awe. How did this happen?
I'm Harold Crick.
I know.
You were right about everything. And then you said, little did he know, which meant it was someone other than me. Now, since we've met and you can see that I exist, you're not going to kill me, right?
She's holding a human life in her hand.
I'm just trying to write a book.
I mean, you're sorry.
Okay, let him read it.
Why do I feel so anxious right now?
Fire?
I may already be dead, just not typed.
What?
You have to read it. You have to tell me what to do or what not to do. If I can avoid it.
Okay.
You didn't have to pretend that he wasn't interested or think it over. He knew he was gonna read it regardless. So the different key aspects of this story, some that trigger these bad events, it looks like they're setting up to go for the tragedy to occur. I'm confused. So she wrote Death and Taxes, but spoke about the interview. That interview was 10 years old, so she's been thinking on this book for 10 years.
Hi, Harold. Harold, I'm sorry. You have to die.
What do you mean?
It's a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece, so it's a novel compared to a life.
I know how hard this is for you to hear.
You're asking me to knowingly face my death.
Yes?
Are they not realizing that it's a book versus this man's life?
I thought you'd find something.
I'm sorry, Harold.
Can't we just try and see if she can change it?
No. In the grand scheme, it wouldn't matter.
Yes, it would.
No.
I could change. I can't die right now.
He's just beginning to live his life.
Harold, you will die someday, sometime.
Death is the only absolute in life.
And I guarantee that it won't be nearly as poetic as what she's written. It's the nature of all tragedies, Harold. The hero dies, but the story goes on forever.
I just don't understand why. How are they not taking into account that this woman, it's a magnificent story, yes, but she is wagering a man's life on the line. Are they not looking at the weight of that?
Okay.
How many people do you think I've killed? Every book I've ever written ends with someone dying. Helen, the school teacher, civil engineer.
Sounds very boring characters. Very everyday people.
Penny, I killed them all.
The last page. The ending to his story. What if he kills her first? Then what?
It's lovely. There's only one way it can end.
The night before his death, he finished his outstanding audits. He made a few phone calls, and he travelled to Ms. Pascal's.
I have to tell you this. You can deduct the value of all the food you give away as a charitable cause. It doesn't break any tax laws. Okay.
He didn't tell her that he's dying. Time for this kid, this omen, to cause some havoc. Ooh, snazzy.
Much had changed for Harold, but of all the transmutations, the most significant was that the time he received from his fellow commuter was, in fact, 3 full minutes later. If Harold had not set his watch to the incorrect time, Harold would have again barely caught.
I hate this kid.
Until the unthinkable occurred.
And that's the perfect ending.
Oh my God!
Stupid kid, learn how to ride your bike normal.
What happened?
He's not officially dead. She didn't type the word.
Excuse me, Professor Hilbert.
Yes.
I'm Karen Eiffel.
Sit down.
They're both about to be shoeless. Are they gonna fall in love? Because they love being barefoot everywhere.
Have you read it?
Is that all right?
Yes, perhaps you may be interested in the new ending.
Good afternoon. Pretty brave thing you did. Kind of stupid, but pretty brave.
He saved a child's life, as stupid as that kid was.
Am I okay? You're not dead. Amazingly, a shard of metal from your watch obstructed the artery, keeping the blood loss low enough to keep you alive. You're very lucky to be alive, Mr. Crick.
My God. What happened?
Stepped in front of a bus.
Why?
Yeah. He actually tried pushing the kid in front of the way, but fell.
Why did you change the book?
If the man does know he's going to die, dies willingly, knowing he could stop it, then that's the type of man you want to keep alive. He finally felt as if everything was going to be okay. We can still find reassurance in a familiar hand on our skin, or a kind and loving gesture. Or a loving embrace, or an offer of comfort, the occasional piece of fiction. And we must remember that all these things are here to save our lives. A wristwatch saved Harold Crick.
I loved that. What the heck? I've never heard of this movie before. That was amazing. Oh my gosh. Why haven't more people seen this movie? Oh, I really liked that a lot. That was a perfectly calculated movie. All right, guys, a lot to unpack here. I adored this movie so incredibly much. I'm beginning to kind of realize why. There were a few parts that I didn't really not that I didn't understand, I just kind of wanted more clarification on. So therefore, I love looking at like reviews and what people had thought as well. And the thing that kind of got me was that during the movie, I basically compared parts of how it's, at least mentally, I did mention it, that it seemed kind of like in the same air as Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where it has like this fantastical realism to it, where it feels like it is extremely realistic, but then it has this, you know, fantasy twist to it. How it's depicted, or how I saw it, was that with each sentence that she wrote, it happened in his real life, like same seconds. That's kind of what it feels like for me. He eventually found out that that's what was going on and then was just trying to change it. And in the process, he became a completely different person who found out how to live his life and change himself as an entire human being, and just to love life, to experience it more. And I find that to be such a beautiful message. But I also kind of compared it to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where it's like, where you have Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet, and they have this relationship, and you can kind of portray it different ways. Both these movies you can portray differently. And also it's very weird that the main character, like between, you know, Will Farrell's character and Jim Carrey's character, is that they basically are both very boring, mundane people, and they have like this exciting girl that comes in, and then it seems like everything changes when they meet them, and then there's different twists to it. Obviously, it just seems like they fall into the same sort of category, and I found that to be really interesting, especially since they're 2-year difference in how they're made. I just really like that, because Eternal Sunshine is absolutely one of my top 5 favorite films. I have watched it so many times, it breaks my heart every time. And this is one of those films where I also believe that it needs many rewatches to really appreciate every single detail brought into it. With Will Farrell's character, he has the most boring, horrible life, and he just lives with it. And then it took this event that people thought he was crazy for to start realizing that no, you have to live your life. You should live your life the way you want. And I just find that to be so amazing. And then he started like reaping the benefits and finally finding his happiness. And like, I love when movies portray that. And I think a big aspect of it was at the end, the writer, she's basically like, she can't finish that ending for several reasons. Not only would it be dumb of her to, not to be harsh, but it would be really stupid of her to, it's stupid but also a tragedy in order for her to build up this character who finally is now beginning to learn how to live life, to appreciate and cherish it, only to kill him in a very anticlimactic hero way when he was never super the hero. Does that make sense? So found like that felt like it would be out of place by killing off and just ending this life when this man finally just started beginning to live it. I feel like the way that it ended now is the most satisfying, not only because it's a happy ending, I love happy endings, but because this man is finally getting a second chance at life and he is enjoying it and actually cherishing it. it was just a lot of fun to watch. I feel like I am rambling a lot because I really liked what this movie was about. I have adored this movie. I loved the message, the acting. Oh my gosh, Will Ferrell's performance in a serious role was out of this world. It was phenomenal. Same as Jim Carrey. They both do great in serious roles. I'm sorry that I'm always comparing, but this respect for comedic actors to extend their, not forte, but extend their skill to serious roles. They should do more. I've never seen Will Ferrell in a serious role, and he killed it. It is absolutely one of his best performances in my opinion. And yeah, the performances, the writing, how everything came to be, the correlation and the timing of things was so calculated. Like I said before, it was so detailed and I loved it. It was a very solid movie. I really liked it and I hope you guys did too. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.